Okay, we have two extraordinary comedians on the show tonight. George Carlin was the first one on the gate, so we'll start with him. George is going to be appearing June 5th at the Painters Mill Theater in Owings Mill, Maryland. The 6th of June, he'll be at the Oakdale Theater in Wallingford, Connecticut, and the 7th of June at the Auditorium Theater in Rochester, New York. Would you welcome, please, George Carlin.
Hi. How you doing? Okay, I guess, huh? Yeah, feel nice. That's good. I don't have any opening announcements tonight, so I'll go right into my routine. I had kind of an interesting morning. This morning I ate at the usual place, the restaurant for the unclean. I had been eating over at the International House of Salt and Pepper, but don't like the selection. I noticed something this morning that had escaped me. There are people who like Raisin Bran without the raisins. And if you are one of these people, you know that in order to have it that way, you have to clean the Raisin Bran. That's right. You have to take either a desk drawer or the top of a shoebox is what good. The top of a shoebox, you have to put the Raisin Bran on the top and sort of jiggle it and roll those raisins out of there. Roll those raisins right out of there. Yeah. Of course, that's street Raisin Bran I'm talking about now. I'm not talking about the cents, which is so hard to get and you don't have to clean anyway. So it's been, like I say, an interesting morning. Let me mention one other thing about breakfast foods, as long as I'm on the subject. Don't often get on that subject with the public. What wine goes with Freakies? I have trouble selecting a wine in the morning. Usually what I'll do if I can't decide at all, I'll just smoke a bong full of Fruit Loops and let it go at that. Just get back in bed and watch the morning movie. Why am I talking like that? One morning movie. Well, I guess I'm just in training, you know? I had an interesting morning. I say I'm going to be coming back to this theme quite a bit. I call it interesting for a good reason. You see, I don't have a nice day anymore. Frankly, I don't bother with them. I feel as if I'm sort of beyond the nice day now. I feel as though I've had my share. Why not let someone else have a few? Why should I be hogging all the really nice ones? Of course, people still want me to have one. Everybody wants me to have one. Have a nice day. So, yeah. Will you give me my change, please, lady? Some of them were very insistent. I said, have a nice day. All right, okay, all right. That's the trouble with have a nice day. It puts all the pressure on you. Now you've got to go out and somehow manage to have a good time. All because of some loose-lipped cashier. Have a nice day. Maybe I don't feel like having a nice day. Maybe, just maybe, I've had 52 nice days in a row. And by God, I'm ready for a rotten day. Wish me a rotten day now and then. No one ever does that, and they're easy to have, too. Sometimes all you have to do is get up, you know. Have a rotten day, George. Thank you. And to your lovely wife as well, sir. I think it's the word nice that bothers me. Nice. It's a flabby word. Doesn't give you a lot of information, does it? Nice. Isn't he nice? Oh, he is so nice. He is really nice. And, you know, she's nice, too. Yes, and he is so nice to her. Isn't that nice? I just don't care for the word. It's like fine, you know. How are you? Fine. Nobody is fine. Spaghetti is fine. How's your spaghetti? fine. That makes a lot more sense to me. Some guys are great. You ever meet guys who are great? How are you? Great. Isn't this great? God, that's great. Look, they're going to kill that guy. Isn't that great? You know, that's right. I've checked myself out. I'm not nice. I'm not fine. I'm not great. People ask me how I am. I say I'm fairly decent. Don't give them any superlatives, you know. Nothing to gossip about. I say I'm relatively okay. If I'm in a particularly jaunty mood, I'll tell them I'm not unwell, thank you. That really gets them mad because they have to figure that one out for themselves. You know? Occasionally, I'll look them right in the eye and say I'm moderately neato. Then, of course, they have to ask their children how I am. So I think you'll admit that was kind of interesting, huh? And it was and a hell of a nice morning for me. Excuse me a second here. I have a little personal business. Pardon me, I do have a little desk out here tonight, sort of. This is my office, after all, when I'm here. There's my desk, which actually is just a little place for my stuff. When you think about it, that's all. I just wanted to put some things there. You have to have a little place for your stuff, you know? Don't you? That's why they have glove compartments and pockets and drawers on a desk. You gotta have a place for your stuff. That's all you need in life, a place for your stuff. That's all your house is when you think about it. It's just a place for your stuff. I'll tell you this, if you didn't have so much stuff, you wouldn't need a house. A house is just a place to keep your stuff while you go out and get more stuff. In fact, sometimes you gotta move. No room for your stuff. You gotta get a bigger place, because that's all a house is a big pile of stuff. Everybody's got a little pile of stuff. Everybody got a pile of stuff, and you lock your stuff up when you leave. You gotta lock your stuff, huh? Somebody might come along and take some of your stuff. And they always take the good stuff. You notice that? They never bother with all that trash you're saving. Do you ever notice when you go to somebody else's house that you don't quite feel at ease? You know why? No room for your stuff. Somebody else's stuff is all over the place. No wonder you feel dumb there. You go to somebody's house and you're not expecting to stay overnight. You know that situation? Just going over for dinner. Have a little cocoa and gin or something, whatever your style. Just a little something for the evening, but you're not supposed to stay over, but then the bridge is washed out and you do. They give you a little bedroom that they haven't used in years. You know, in fact, someone died in it 11 years ago. And they haven't moved any of his stuff. Or any kind of little bedroom they give you, there's always a little dresser right next to the bed, and there's never any room for your stuff. Why? Somebody else's crap is all over the top of the dresser. Have you noticed that their stuff is crap and your crap is stuff? Get in. You say, get that crap out of my way and let me put my stuff down. Now, sometimes when you go on vacation, you got to bring some of your stuff with you. Can't bring all of your stuff. You bring just the stuff you know you're going to need for 2 weeks, about 2 weeks worth of stuff. And you go over to the big hotel in Honolulu, going to be there for 2 weeks, and you open up your stuff and you start putting your stuff out because you got to have some stuff. You don't feel so good because you're half a world from home, but here's your stuff, so everything must be okay, just putting your stuff there. And you start to feel all right after a day and a half. That's when your friend from Maui calls up. Says, why don't you come over and spend the weekend over here? So, wow. Now what do I pack? Right, you got to pack an even smaller version of your stuff, the third version of your house. Just enough stuff for a weekend on Maui. You get over there and you put up your stuff, a little Visine, you put it on the windowsill, whatever you have, you put your stuff up and you start to feel okay. It takes about an hour and a half. You know you're extended now. Supply lines are getting longer and harder to maintain. You've got stuff here, stuff there, and stuff way back there. But you finally get your stuff put up and it's okay after about an hour. That's when your friend says, hey, I think tonight we'll go over the other side of the island and spend the night at my friend's house. Wow. Now what do you bring? Just whatever's in your hand. I figured that out myself. I'll close here by just one observation that I made driving over here. Have you noticed that most of the women who are against abortion are women that you wouldn't want to get pregnant in the first place, man?
Beautiful stuff. Hey, that was good stuff. Good stuff. We'll be back with some more stuff in just a minute. Lots of stuff. We're back with George Carlin. Richard Pryor will be with us in a little while. I love to listen to your material because it all comes out of truth. And when you were talking about phrases like "have a nice day," I was thinking as you said that, we use so many of those phrases. Like you meet somebody. Did you ever walk into a building? You work in a building like people say work at NBC, and you see the person the first time. You say good morning or hello or how are you. Now you inevitably run into them again in the hall.
Right. Yeah.
And do you say hello again, or do you not say hello?
So are you still okay?
Yeah. Because they start with things. There should be certain phrases that they could retire, like "How's it going?"
Oh yeah. Some of them are really old. The one I hate when people say, "How are they treating you?"
Yeah.
As if there's this group of people in your house, you know,
Mistreating you in some way.
Or are they keeping you busy? That bothers me.
Keeping you busy lately?
As if they have a right to keep me busy. No, they're not. I keep them as busy as possible. Watching.
Maybe they should have retired certain phrases.
Yeah.
Just say hello, good morning.
Yeah.
And that's it.
There's just too many ways to say hello and goodbye. You know what's interesting? To decide to change the way you say goodbye. You know, you get into a rut. You get into years at a time where you always say, okay, take it easy. Yeah, hey, take it easy. Then you learn another one and you start to switch and say, hey, straight ahead. Okay, straight ahead now.
Right.
See you later. You have to decide on which one.
Wow.
I think you should send out cards to people when you decide to change your goodbye, you know?
So you know, just like you change your
I'll be
address.
saying,
Who cares?
as good as anything
Right.
else.
So what have you been working on lately?
Well, you know, I always have a few show business things. I'm always branching out. I'm doing a show that's been getting a lot of publicity here now. I'm getting my act together and taking it into the bathroom.
That's the road show version.
Yeah, the road show.
Right.
Then we're going to do, we're doing a hat full of Braunschweiger.
Out full of Braunschweiger.
It's about a guy who's hooked on liver paste, I think. But, you know, I've been keeping mostly busy with causes and little, you know, things that interest me. Parakeet menopause is an issue that I think
it's highly overlooked.
Yeah,
highly overlooked.
I think its time has come, and of course the problem of gay grandparents, especially out here. I get a lot of calls from a lot of different groups. Autopsies for the living. This is a new thing, by the way.
These things are never really addressed and looked at.
And California is the place for something like that to begin, I feel. And the illegal cow fights, I don't know if you're aware of this. Or the
illegal cow fights?
Yeah.
Taking place again.
In the valley here, they have the illegal cow fights on Thursdays, I think it is. We're trying to get together with Doris Day and a few of the people that are interested in animals, you know, to get out there and police this thing up. Then, you know, if you watch the talk shows, Johnny, especially the afternoon issue kind of talk shows where they have someone on who's written a book about this or that and is working on things, you run into a lot of these problems, I guess. You could call them roughly the battering syndrome has come in for a lot of attention in the last year. Of course, battered children, battered wives, and battered husbands, which surprised some people, but is a problem. Yeah. And we're working now on something unusual: battered casual acquaintances.
Got a hotline set up, I suppose, and things for that?
One of those hotlines, unfortunately, we have this hotline where nobody answers. That's for people who don't really follow advice anyway. So.
That's right. Sure.
But in this battering syndrome, we have something that I found quite unbelievable: battered plants. Have you heard of this at all?
No.
People come home and take it out on the ivy, you know? Really? And I don't think it's right. Of course, I think it's not just the slapping, you know, slapping the ivy around. It's the psychological harm that we do them. For instance, do we know for sure that hanging plants aren't scared out of their minds? I mean, no wonder ivy clings. You know, and the calls just keep coming in. The Beverly Hills Chamber of Poor Taste gave me a call this week from them. They're having a hunger banquet. Hors d'oeuvres for Bangladesh, I think they're calling that.
Good cause.
And the dangers of drinking on the toilet. A lot of these things have been mentioned. I'm getting interested in cosmetic dentistry for the wicked. Sounds like something Pat McCormick might be interested in.
Yes.
And St. Anthony's Home for the recently all right. Just too many of them. The Free Hats for Fat People campaign, which doesn't start till October, but we're talking it up already.
You got to get a start on these things.
So I just, I thank you for letting me mention this.
Everybody else has plugs.
This
Might as
many
well
of
get all
them.
these
I
in.
never get to mention this many in one show.
You're working a lot. You're working these 3 dates right after.
I always go out on the weekend, pick up a little cash. This is my Great Lakes tour.
Right.
3 days. 5 lakes. I should have extended the tour somewhere. Yeah. By the way, could I mention Big Brother-in-Law, another organization?
Yes. Yeah. Like I know the Big Brothers. This is Big Brother-in-Law.
This is for men that are married and that don't have a brother-in-law but really want one.
Yeah. I will donate to that. Yeah. You got to get your priorities in order in this life.
That's right.
And obviously you have.
That's right.
We'll take a break. Richard Pryor's going to be with us.
Come on, Richie.
Yeah. Thank you, Doc. We're back. What can you say about Richie Pryor? Not so much. I would guess that you are the biggest fan of Richie's, as I am.
Say he's my top comic.
Frankly, everybody who does comedy think Richie is a genius. It's Stir Crazy, I guess, is one of the biggest grossing movies in the past couple of years, next to Star Wars or something like that. And he's got another movie coming out called Bustin' Loose, which opens the day after tomorrow all over the country. I think he was out here shooting in Burbank somewhere today, wasn't he? Would you welcome Richard Pryor?
Thank you very much. I sure appreciate that.
I'm afraid to say, how's it going? George and I were just talking about...
I'm great.
Yeah, you're looking... really great. Really great. You're looking good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not seeing you since last time you were here. You were heading for Hawaii.
Yeah, I saw you on the Oscar show.
Oh, yeah. Were you in Hawaii when that played?
Yeah, no, it showed the same night. Usually everything's a week later.
That's right. Why did they... I guess we got to get transported over here, or...
I imagine so, Johnny.
I guess I would... Couldn't be another reason, could there? Are you all finished with the? You were still undergoing some therapy for the burns and stuff. Are you pretty much through with that?
Pretty
now?
much through. I just got to go through. Every morning I have to get up and set myself on fire and see how fast I can put it out.
Little test.
Yes, little test I do every day. So far, so good.
Are you? This may sound like a dumb question, but
It probably is.
But why not? Can't be brilliant questions all the time. But do you ever, when you're sleeping, does this come back sometimes to really?
No,
Really?
I never have dreams about it. No.
But some people it would affect traumatically, and
No, I had one dream about fire, and I was driving in a Jeep and with a soldier who was sitting in the back, and I didn't know who he was. And he said, "Just drive, I'll get you through it." And we drove through this forest fire.
Yeah.
And stopped by a lake, and that's the only thing I had about it.
That's the only time that you even thought about it.
Sorry I brought it up.
Maybe that was my dumb question. I'm sorry about that.
That was my dumb answer.
You guys know
I was in the Jeep.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys have never worked. You've never been on the show together. I know that.
No, we worked together in the village.
We started out in...
George used to wear suits.
That's right.
Well, George has gone through various career changes and
Clothing changes.
Yes.
That's
I
right.
was
Change your
colored in
clothes,
those
George.
days.
You were what?
Colored in those
You were
days.
colored in those days. You've now become black.
Yes,
and,
I was a colored comedian.
I was almost colored at that time myself. We worked
You
on
remember Uncle
Bleecker
Dirty?
Street. Uncle Dirty, sure.
Yeah, Uncle Dirty used to be with us,
down the village.
hanging out, writing down our stuff.
Yeah, we started 1965 down there,
Yeah.
down at Cafe Ogogo.
And we used to idolize Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to go see him. He was hot. That was something to go see Bill.
Yeah. Did you ever even unconsciously pick up on somebody's line and use it?
Oh, on purpose.
Oh, I mean, actually. That's more honest than I thought I was going to get. In other words, just out and out stealing. Huh?
Dick Gregory used to have stuff in the Jet magazine, you know, and that's how I started reading his material, and I'd do it on stage. And that was my first breakthrough, as that I got a lot of laughs with his material.
Yeah.
And then I moved on to Bill Cosby, and I just got a hit with Bill. I know. I was good. And people say, "You sound like Bill." I said, "The hell you mean? This is my voice, Jack." So, no, I did that I made a lot of money as Bill Cosby.
Yeah. What's the worst place you ever played?
The worst place I ever played? I was L.A. County Jail.
That's a tough audience, right? Yeah. Held over, huh?
Yes, I was held over for 10 days.
Was that when you were parking the cars one night when you were...
Parking the cars?
Well,
no,
you were
don't mention.
don't bring that up, right? You're directing traffic or something.
No, I wasn't shooting cars that night. This was for taxes. I went to income tax not paying your money.
Well, now that's not fraud. That's just, that's an oversight, isn't it?
Yes, that's what I told you.
He said, "I'll show you oversight."
He was talking about, I ought to give you 6. I said, "Your Honor, it was an oversight." And he gave me 10 days.
Yeah.
It was 10 days. It was 10 hard days because they had me in confinement, They wouldn't let me out with the other prisoners because they were afraid they was going to grab me and kidnap me or have sex with me or something like that. So they kept me in this little room, and they let me out. The day they let me out, they let me to the door, and the guy said, "No, he can't leave. He has 10 more minutes." Now, that was cold.
Yeah, that's cruel.
I said, "You black people are tough."
We're going to take a short break. We're coming back here.
Please,
Oh, yes. Good off. We're back with Richard Pryor and George Carlin. We have a little film clip we're going to show in a minute or so of Bustin' Loose. You play a thief in this, right?
Yes.
Did you ever steal anything?
I did.
I did as a kid. I mean, that's why I brought it up.
Oh, yeah, I steal.
Oh, you did steal.
When I'm not working, I go around catburger. Pick me up 3,000 or 4,000 a week. I stole once, and my father caught me, and my father did not like stealing or lying. He hated either. He could not stand it. And he just had a way about he could look at me, and I knew with them, I'd start trembling, and wet my pants. And he could talk. My pop was tough. Richard, come here. I said, come, no, right here. No, don't try to stand right here. You and them boys were down there with them hubcaps, weren't you? What? So I knew not to lie, because he'd snatch a knot in your butt. That's what
I stole a ring once from a dime store, and then wouldn't admit it to the guy, and he started to march me down about 2 blocks to my father's office. And I fessed up real quick, because that's...
Did your father have an office?
Well, it wasn't a big, lavish office, but yeah, he worked.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's cool.
A real office, yeah. Yeah, and a desk there and a telephone and...
Man, that's him.
Isn't it?
My dad just was out there on the porch.
Yeah.
I stole some coffee once. We was going to go hiking. I stole some coffee and got caught in the store stealing coffee that I didn't need. And God might be bad for that.
Yeah.
So I don't mind you stealing, but you don't even need coffee.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. We better run this film clip. Bustin' Loose, right?
Stealing TV.
This is about stealing.
This is from the film Busting Loose, and it opens in August. No, it opens Friday.
Opens Friday,
Just
day
kidding,
after
just
tomorrow. Okay, watch the monitor here.
15 minutes, big chill. Come on, get him on. Know your job. Know your job. You got to know your job. Pop in.
What the hell are you doing, man? Let's get the hell out of here.
You take it easy, man. Be cool, will you? This is a score of a lifetime. We're gonna get 5,000, 10,000 a piece, baby.
You mean 5 to 10 in the pen? Let's go, man.
Take it easy. You know how to move and haul, right? Just get ready to move and haul right out of here.
go, my man. No hard feelings, right? Right. All right, move it. Load that big screen TV.
Now this people wants the floor demo out there.
So what's the problem? Give him whatever the East Philly store needs. Just mark it down.
Will you at least check the registration to that truck out there?
Registration. Wait a minute. Do I have to take this kind of abuse, man? Because I'm black? Is that why you pulling this? Because I bet you don't do it to the white people that coming in. Hey, I bet you don't do it to the white people that coming in, do you? No, we don't see colors anymore, right?
Hey, just calm
Because we're having a sale down the East Philly store, man, and before the riot sale, black people are getting a chance to buy a television for the first time since the 60s, and this guy want to mess it up. If you want to help me, you help me. You don't, you don't have to. Get out of my way, man. I'm mad.
That's what you did, man. Give me a hand. Just let's go.
Are you going to...
Come on, you've embarrassed me enough. Let's go.
What you gonna, what are you gonna, huh? What it is? What it look like? No, baby. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna knock you out.
Well, shoot your best shot, baby.
Never ask a guy to take his best shot. Yeah. You had him right where you wanted him, right? Take your best whack off. That looks funny.
Thank you.
Really looks funny. What do you go to see? Pictures? What kind? You go see comedies mainly?
Oh, I want to see Superman 2.
Superman 2.
That's what I'm waiting on to see.
Really?
Yeah. So did you see Superman 1?
Sure.
Well, this one, remember the people was in the glass?
Yeah.
Well, he goes and gets them
Yeah.
and brings them back to Earth accidentally. There's 4 Supermans.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and 1 Superwoman. Oh, it's going to be good. The previews are great. We sitting in there, yeah, it's soup.
We'll be right back. Thank you, Doc. Okay, Bustin' Loose opens day after tomorrow. Richie's picture, day after tomorrow, all over the country. George is back for your Great Lakes tour, as you call it.
That's right.
Yes. This has really been great having both of you here tonight. Thank you. A special night. Good to see you back working up and around, feeling good.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you, George. And tomorrow night, George Siegel, Rich Hall, and Catherine Harold. Thanks for being with us. Good night.